We talked about in the previous programs, I was abandoned by my dad and left and then kind of raised by my stepdad, and he just abused me every day, verbally. To my sister was telling more about it, and it was like, wow. Mom, you want to say anything about that you remember of the abuse, especially the verbal?
Well, the strange thing is that when I was around,
Yeah.
this is how sneaky Satan is. Okay, when I was around, there was no abuse. It was when I was not present, is when the verbal abuse would take place.
Wow.
And so, this was years of it,
Wow.
of this happening with the three of you. But if I was in the room, nothing. As soon as I walked out of I didn't find this out till later, much later. And I even had neighbors come and tell me,
Wow.
That I wasn't even aware of.
Wow. And so,
I was aware of his madness. I was aware of his anger, but it was always geared towards me, the anger. But behind my back, it was geared towards you guys.
yeah, and it was horrible. And what happened was it crippled. See, this is what people don't understand. Words are powerful.
Yes, they are.
And those words, the sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Those are a lie. Words, especially as a child.
It frames you.
And the role of a mom and dad is to frame the child,
That's right.
especially a father. The father figure is huge because the father figure creates identity with his words.
That's right.
And mom brings that love, the warmth. Those are the things that develop a child in health. But I tell you, it really did it work. Satan did it work. So,
and then the fact that your real father wasn't present at a young age.
yeah,
He
was gone. He left us.
Yeah.
So it was just brokenness.
You had a dual thing going on there.
And from there, it went to, kind of getting out of control and more out of control and more out of control. And then eventually, totally out of control. Do you remember that progression, Ma? Because Dad wasn't there yet.
No, he wasn't in the
He
picture.
came in after. God, he was like a redeemer.
Yeah. Psychologists don't work. I'm sorry. I must have gone to 5 psychologists. I went to different kind of groups.
Well, I like psychologists, Christian.
But psychology in itself, because
Without God.
psychology can't heal.
Without God, yeah.
It doesn't heal. I don't know how many times I took you and your sister and your brother. Everywhere. I searched as many places as I could. I remember going all the way to Woodland Hills just to go to a program. I was desperate to find a solution because all three of you were so out of control at such a young age. And I really didn't have any answers. I didn't know what to do. So I just grasped for whatever I could get.
That hopelessness.
It was hopeless. I had no hope. And every time I went to a different program or took you guys to this psychologist or that psychologist, it didn't work.
It reminds me of the woman with the issue of blood.
Yeah.
She spent all she had, and instead of her, but her kids didn't get better.
Yeah, they didn't get better.
Only got worse. And so, tell me how you saw me progress in that.
Oh, yeah. I saw you probably at 12, I started seeing, changes. By the time you were 13, I really started seeing the changes. And from that point on, it started progressing, and it got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
And then
when you landed up in jail, and you changed drastically. By the time you were 17, I didn't even know you. You had changed drastically.
It was like, I think what happened to me, I said, hey, no one's going to hurt me again.
Yeah.
No one's going to hurt me again. No one's going to hurt me again. I think that's the root. It was
Yeah.
broken. It was pain. I was suffering. And then I said, you know what? Nah, I'm done.
Yeah.
No one's going to ever hurt me again. And that's when I think a demon really came inside of my life. A few of them actually.
Yeah.
And took over my life. Hijacked me.
Yeah. Except by the time you were 18, 19, you were so out of control.
Yeah, and that's when you came in, huh, Dad?
Yes.
That's
Okay,
what you
so you came in and I was already full blown.
Oh,
How come
yeah.
what kept you around? You know,
You know, I had even told him.
what kept you?
You know what? It had to be God, because I even told him at one point, I says, look, if you don't want to get involved in none of this, I said, I understand.
Yeah,
And you're free to leave. You are really free to go. And what was your response?
Where would I go? You know what, that was the lifestyle I used to have. I'd take off,
Yeah.
it just split. But there was something that I knew I needed to be there.
wow,
And things just happened, one thing right after another. And
wow.
we gave our lives to Jesus, and it just continues to get better.
Wow.
And he said, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying.
Yeah.
So you guys got married,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Who's this guy?" Remember?
Oh,
Oh, I hated you. I was like, "Who's this guy?" I didn't
Oh.
hate you. I didn't hate you like that. I just thought like
you tested him.
I tested you. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you ever test
Remember
that?
his ugly chair? Where did that thing come from? It's like an old beetle. Some of you don't know, Dad had an ugly chair he brought in when he moved in, and it was horrible. But anyway,
It was comfortable, though.
yeah, and
Landed up in the back room.
yeah,
and then
and
the
so
garage.
you guys got married, and then you moved in, and then next thing you know, that was a weird feeling too. Like, what's going on here? And then, yeah, I did test you. Do you remember any of this? Because I want to hear from your perspective. We've heard from Mom, but we haven't heard from you. Like, what was your perspective of it?
Well, I'd come from a long background of drug addictions and alcoholism.
Wow.
And when I saw what you were doing, I recognized that spirit, because it was the same spirit that I had because I had been addicted to crystal meth for a lot of years. And when I saw the things you were doing, I knew what it was. I knew it. But I'd been trying so hard to, under my own power, to get away from meth, to get away from all drugs of all sorts. And then I had to turn to God. There was no other answer, because there was no other way I could get away from those drugs and stuff. But one time I was going through your bedroom, and I saw an ice box, and it was it was just an ice box sitting there, and I stopped, and I went over and I opened it up, and I found like a half ounce or whatever of crystal meth in there. And my spirit, my flesh, man, goes, yeah.
Oh, man.
I was going, yeah, you know how long I can get high on this? But then my spirit took over, and I threw it back. I remember I threw it back in the icebox. And I looked up and I said, why would you put me here? And it wasn't God put me there, but he was delivering me from those things.
Wow.
It was, and it wasn't always the easiest path, but God is faithful to his word, and he.
Well, you were the right person to come in, because
Yeah,
you guys started going to church,
right
and
away.
you guys got a hold of the. Now let's
word.
talk a little bit more about the crazy stuff, because then we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
What do you remember, like most, like 2 of the 3 craziest things? You're like, what the heck?
Did I get into?
Yeah, did I get into? like there were some moments when you came home and there was lines on the table.
Yeah,
Oh man.
That's
All
true.
right, let's talk about just a few minutes, and then we'll go into the testimony of Jesus. But this is all part of it,
Yeah, absolutely.
because people have to understand the craziness and the power of God. Go ahead, Dad.
One night, and I don't remember where we had been. When we came home.
You're on a date, I think, or church or something. Yeah.
Probably church. We probably had come home from church.
We come home, and we open up the front door, and there was a guy. I didn't really know who the guy was. I think
Eddie,
I
huh?
knew-
Eddie.
He was-
His name was Eddie.
I saw him. He was sitting on the couch, and these big long lines. On we had one of those tables with glass ends on it, and these big long lines of meth, laying out. What are you
In your
doing?
living room. It's like a Hollywood movie.
Yeah. And you were nowhere around. I had no idea where you were.
I was already gone
We had
somewhere.
asked him, well, where's Jason? He goes, oh, he told me to wait here for him. He told you what? And then Dad says, you know what? You need to leave, and you need to leave now.
Okay, I just want to. What about the guy? All right, this is. I shouldn't be laughing, but it's like not real. So,
Yeah.
what about when I thought the Cambodian kid, he was a kickboxer. He was a good fighter, and I remember I stole his because I saw him. I saw him going down the street in his stereo, and he showed it to me like it was a really good stereo. And at that time, if you had a good stereo, all the girls liked you. Everyone thought you were cool. So loud, So I went and I stole his stereo, and I put it in my car. And then somewhere in my crazy mind, I thought that I had actually worked for it.
You believed that it was
Yeah.
yours.
And so then I showed him the stereo, and he got all mad. He's like, "That's my radio. Why would you steal it? You thought you were my friend." And I got mad at him. I said, "Why would you accuse me of stealing your stuff?" Like, and in my mind, I was convinced
Oh my
that's how
gosh.
demented you can get, right?
Oh, yeah.
To the drugs and the evil spirits. So he came back to try to take a stereo at night, like he was trying to sneaky.
It was at night. He was
Yeah, it
sneaky.
was-
Yeah, but I remember going, oh, and I saw his legs hanging out the car, and I remember saying, I better break his legs, because if I don't break his legs, he's gonna get up and start doing this kickboxing stuff. He was a tough kid, so I did. I broke his legs. I ran into the door like a football player, and I hit the door like a.
And he saw it.
Yeah, Dad, what were you thinking? Like, tell me what you're thinking.
Yeah, well, I didn't know what to do at first. I was just but you were beating on him.
What
You were
what happened?
wailing on him. Well,
You were in the house, or
yeah, I
You probably heard the noise. I don't know.
I think I had
I
been out in
came
the
out after.
garage.
okay?
Or I'd gone out to the garage anyway, but I heard the noise, and I came over and I saw you just wailing on this guy, and I wanted to pull you off, and I couldn't pull you off. I was trying to pull you off. I said, "Come on, stop! You're going to kill him, man! You're going to kill him." And I
Finally, you told him. I think you got his attention. I don't remember. By that time, I had walked out, and you told him, because you better leave now before he kills you.
yeah, probably.
I remember that.
It was wild.
What about that one time, Mom, when those guys jumped me?
Oh wow!
See, this is good to know, because because they see the testimony, they see all, but they don't know it. Like, so it's good that you tell your side of the story.
Well, there was five young guys that came to the house, and they came, I think, through the back door. I don't remember, and they asked for you, and I said, "Oh yeah, he's here." Well, I thought they were your friends. I didn't know, and so you came out, and as soon as you came out, they all jumped you, and they started beating up on you, and well, of course, I had to jump in there, try and get them off of you, and then all of a sudden, I don't know what got a hold of you. You picked up a brick, and you picked up a stick. And no, first you started hitting them, and then you picked up a brick, and you picked up a stick, and they must have saw the look in your eye, because they started running, and you chased them. You went after them,
Yeah, I remember that.
and I'm screaming and I'm yelling and I'm saying, "Get back over here! Get back over here!" There's 5 of them, and they just scattered.
So these were the crazy, yeah, Dad.
I know. I just said they took off. Yeah. It was,
So these are the kind of crazy. What? Okay. One more, and then we'll get into how do you believe God for your kids?
Oh,
Okay. Is there any more?
the bird cage.
What about the bird cage? Why do you keep saying the bird cage?
Because we had this huge, I think it was about 6 feet high.
Yeah,
It was big bird cage, and we had birds in there. And one day
Seals.
we got home. I don't know remember we got home, and all of a sudden, Dad walks out. He looks around. He goes, "Where's the bird cage?" And he walks out, and the bird cage is thrown in the back lawn. There's no birds.
the bottom
Oh.
of it was missing.
He almost lost it.
All I remember is punching the brick wall with my fist as hard as I could.
yeah.
After that, I don't know why.
He was there. I wasn't there.
Remember,
Yeah.
there was a dent in the middle door. Why was I running? Because it was a safe door.
Yeah,
Why was there a
it's
dent in
pretty
it?
Probably because maybe you had hit it. You probably had hit it because
Probably,
nobody
yeah.
else did.
Yeah, that must have been when you went off that one time. Insanity is a scary spirit,
It's insanity, huh?
Yes, it
So
is.
it's a spirit of,
It's a spirit of insanity.
you know, that when I got saved, the Lord told me, like, He said, like the demoniac man,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, and no one could tame him.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Yeah.
They try to bind him with chains.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I would go in and out of jail like every other day. I had like 18 suspended
Oh,
license.
my
And,
goodness.
remember,
Yeah.
20. I had like 21 suspended license. I don't know how many DUIs I had. Now you can't do that. They'll put you in prison. It was insanity.
It was insane.
yeah.
And we would always tell you, if I didn't tell you, he would tell you, don't be driving. You've got to revoke license. What's wrong with you? Why are
Yeah.
you still driving?
I figured you'd never get a license after all.
Oh, I know. Okay.
Actually, yes.
And time's flying. So, all right. So then we what about the raid? Let's talk about the raid, because that was the epitome. Because before the raid, remember the DEA came in the morning and arrested me, like at 5 in the morning.
I didn't see it. He did.
Yeah,
You did. Remember, she
yeah.
came
Mm-hmm.
and she came and got me,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like what 5, 6 in the morning.
Yeah, something like that.
And
yeah,
they took
it
me
was
out.
early. Yeah.
Yeah, for an embezzlement. The DEA,
Mm-hmm.
because I remember they had all their coats and
Yeah.
it was like it was a DEA. Like what the heck? And they took me to prison.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and an embezzlement charge. You remember that?
Yes, I do. I hear bang, bang, bang on the front door. Who the heck's coming here this early in the morning? I open up the front door and I see all these cops and the DEA. I see all their badges and stuff and guns sticking out. And they said, "Where's Jason Lozano?"
Oh man.
I said, why? She said, "We have a warrant for his arrest."
Mm.
And they held up a paper, and I saw it say. All I could see was it said "warrant" at the top of it. But I said, "Well, he's in here," and they pulled the door open and walked in, And they said, "Where's he at?" And I said, "He's in that room there." And they went in and grabbed you and took off. They never said anything else to me. They
And then I'm in jail,
yeah.
and then 2 weeks later, I prayed to God, like, God help me, and because I was looking at a lot of time
Sure.
on that charge. It was embezzlement,
Mm-hmm.
and they had me.
And we didn't even know anything about that.
No, they had me red-handed. Like they caught me, and then I prayed, and the Holy Spirit spoke to me, and He told me, and Tamar told the story last week on the podcast,
Yeah.
and the Holy Spirit told me that the cops were coming to the house because they were going to raid it,
Oh no, that was different.
and I
That
told
was-
Tamar
Yeah, that was a different
to
one.
get the stuff out, and 20 minutes later they showed up.
Yeah, that was when
If they would have
raided
found
the
all
house.
that would have been it for me.
Yeah.
I would have probably been,
Yeah,
affiliated by now.
yeah.
But
yeah, that was
from
a
your
different
perspective, though,
episode.
tell me what happened.
Well, the DNA thing, I wasn't even
DEA.
aware of it.
Yeah.
DEA. I was in the room.
The DNA.
DNA.
Mama doesn't know about any of this. Good, Mom.
I
Good.
don't.
Yeah, the DEA.
I was in the room. I didn't even know what had happened till after
No,
it
but
took place, but he told me.
But the raid, what? Because that was 2 weeks later.
Oh, yeah.
We were in our bedroom.
Yeah.
And
So I'm going to say this before we get into it, because this is what we talked about before on our
Yeah.
podcast. Before the breakthrough comes, because at this time we were praying every day, right?
Every day.
Right? You were confessing the word every day, right?
Every day.
So let's talk about that, then the raid, and then the breakthrough. Real quick, tell me about how you guys learned how to pray and speak the word, and what you did every day.
boy,
Because somebody's listening right now, and they need to know how to do this. I found out this too. The young man Stephen we interviewed, he's one of our ministers now, and he said that his sister learned from you guys how to believe God, build a case, speak the word, and the way you guys believe for me is how she believed for him, and he got his freedom.
yes,
So
yes.
somebody needs to hear this right now.
Okay. I don't know if this is the beginning of it, but the church that we were going to at that time, they kept telling us, the pastor kept telling us, find the promise in the word of God and stand on it. Believe God for those things. And he will fulfill those things for you. And all the pastors at the church we had just started going to, every pastor that they bring visiting pastors in from other churches, and everybody kept saying the same thing. They said, find the promise and believe God, stand on his promises, and he'll fulfill them. And I didn't know any better. I had never had a relationship with God before, so I'm just going to believe. And
Simple faith.
yeah, and it wasn't. I just started believing it. I said, okay, this is what your word says, and he says, don't focus on what's going on in your life. Don't focus on what's going on around you. He said, stand on this promise and believe God, and it will be fulfilled. And sometimes it was real hard to do that because everything was so crazy all around us. But I kept standing on God. God kept giving us more and more scriptures to stand on, more scriptures to believe in.
Yeah.
And so what would you do every day with those scriptures?
We read them and pray over them and confess them. Every night, every morning, and the night before we'd go to bed, we'd pray and read those words and read them
How long
over
would that
and over.
take you?
God, honestly, we don't even know. And at that time, we were in Bible college. So not only were we hearing it from, we went to
Yeah.
church on Wednesdays and Sundays, we were also in Bible college 2 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
So we were just inundated with the word, inundated.
So
Inundated.
that's the battle. Like, okay, I'm going to church, I'm getting the word, I'm
Right.
getting built up, and then I go home and there's the devil. Okay, take all my faith. Then I'll go back to church, get filled up, go home, there's the devil. Take all my faith. Go back to church, get filled up, go back home, there's the devil. Then I take my faith. And then that's the battle,
That's
right?
the battle.
Yep.
Because I remember one time in particular, you guys were praying, and I saw smoke come under the door
Yeah.
like a fog, and I knew that evil spirit that I had knew, don't let that touch you. That touches you, it'll weaken you. I think what happened is when I was sleeping, it got on me. The presence of God was working on my heart, working in my life.
Either both of us would put oil and put hands on your door, or if it wasn't me, it was him or both of us.
And then one time, you actually found drugs.
I did. I was in your room. I was probably gonna get your dirty clothes, and I found the drugs, and I found the money, and I found all the paraphernalia.
I thought somebody robbed me,
You did,
and I did something very terrible after that.
because you weren't gonna come up to me and say, "Oh, Mom, by the way, did you
I thought
find
that
my
person
drugs?"
had robbed me,
Yeah.
but it didn't rob me. You found him and you took him. But that person ended up getting saved anyway, so it worked out.
We
But
tithed off of it.
But I did. I
I
flushed.
attacked those people. I thought they robbed me.
Oh.
Yeah, crazy. I'm not going to say
yeah,
more than that.
We didn't know any of that. So I found all of that. I was so angry. I
So
was
even that
so
anger,
angry.
now you're believing for me.
Yeah.
And now you're angry with me. But faith can't work by love. So now you got to
No.
forgive me.
Yes.
So this is the battle. This is where people have to realize it wasn't all like peach cheese and cream here.
No, it didn't happen like that.
No. And then what about the raid? So
That
I'm
was-
in jail. You guys are you still speaking the word over me or?
Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. We
Yeah,
never
we
stopped
never
doing
stopped.
Okay. So
That's-
I want to hear from Dad because I heard from you, Mom.
Yeah.
Dad, and then Mom, you tell us what.
Well, so we got up and we read the word every morning. We get up and read the word, pray all those scriptures for you, and for all three of you kids. And the day that the raid happened, we were still in our bedroom, and all of a sudden Tamara says, Mom, she says, there's cops outside. And we can hear a helicopter overhead and
Of the house.
over the house.
18 cop cars, they said.
Yeah, there was at least that many there, yeah.
The whole street, half the street was just the
Yeah.
driveway, on the front lawn. It was insane.
Yeah, but they came in, they kicked the door, they got the front door open. I don't know, they had one of those security doors on there. I don't know how they got it open. but they
Tamar
got
said it was a battering ram.
Yeah, it could
Well,
be
then that's-
very easily, yeah.
We were in the room. We didn't know.
Yeah, we just heard noise, and then and Tamar's going, Mom, there's cops here. What's going on? We're thinking, well, Jason's in jail. It can't be for him, But that's exactly who they were looking for. And you had supposedly just gotten a big supply. They just come in. They say, "Well, where's Jason?" He's in, and they start looking around, and they drew guns on all of us, and they told us all to lay down on the floors, put our hands behind our
They're
back.
thinking these guys are part of it. There's no way they don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See, what they didn't know, I had another house. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was the drug house where all the manufacturing and everything. So that was the house.
Where
And I'd
your
go home
Mustang-
just to rest.
Yeah.
But they thought
It was there.
it was there.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
And
And I
when
did
they-
have some there, but
Yeah.
but the big stuff was there. But there was stuff there.
Yeah, but
There
what?
was-
20 minutes before they came, you had already made
The Holy Spirit
arrangements
spoke to me.
for it to be gone. So by the
No,
time they
the
got
Holy
there,
Spirit told me they were coming to get it out of the house. Right? I wasn't even saved.
Wow.
I
No,
wasn't even serving God. I was as backslid as you could be. And I thought, why would the Lord do that? It's just mercy. Because I would have been gone.
Yeah.
I would have been over it. It would have been over.
yeah.
Talk about mercy. Talk
absolutely.
about mercy. I don't even know back then what was happening, but you guys are on the floor,
Yeah.
Their hands behind our back, guns to our heads.
and what happens?
We were there quite a while before they
yeah.
let us up. They ransacked the house looking for the drugs that they didn't
We got
find.
1 minute left, so tell because we got to get to the testimony.
You give your side of it, and
Well,
then I'll
you
get
know,
mine.
like like Mom was saying that they ransacked the house. They were saying, "Well, where's this stuff? Where's this stuff?" We go, "What stuff? We don't know anything." And they went looking through the house, tearing things apart. And what I had to laugh about later on is I had just gotten paid, so I had a wad of cash. It was sitting on the headboard in our room, and next to it was a little file.
Okay, hold on. I got to stop. We're out of time. Sign up for the email website. Thank you so much, all your generosity. I'm going to leave it at this. If you're got problems, find a promise.
Find the promise.
If you got a problem, find a promise. Things did turn around, didn't they?
They
Yes, they
did.
did.
Absolutely.
And God did come through, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
And the word is true, isn't it?
Yes,
Yes,
it
it
is.
is.
And I'm a miracle. Dad's a miracle. You're a miracle, Mom. And look at what God is doing. So
Oh, my
we love you. Stay tuned in next week, and we're going to get more into this